Hey, Ryan here from Media Ace Marketing. You don't grow your landscaping business just by doing more jobs. You grow it by thinking differently about the jobs, the clients, and the opportunities that come to you. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 powerful ways of working that I've seen the most successful contractors and how these approaches quietly drive growth, better clients, and more referrals. These shifts aren't about tools or tactics, they're about how you show up. And when your approach catches up to your ambition, everything else falls into place. Here's where we're going to go today. First, why marketing should build trust and not just get attention. Second, why you need better relationships and not more leads. And third, why trust is built in how you make people feel and not just what you say. So you've tried ads, websites, social posts, but something still feels stuck. You're doing all the right things, but growth feels harder than it should. Here's what I've learned working with contractors across the country. Growth rarely happens from doing more. It happens when your approach catches up to your ambition. The contractors who grow the fastest aren't the ones with the fanciest trucks, they're the ones with the clearest way of thinking. You ever spend 6 hours quoting a job you knew that wasn't going to go anywhere? That's what happens when you're chasing attention instead of building trust. All because you can work harder. It doesn't mean that's what's holding you back. So let's lock this in. The first shift is this. Marketing should build trust, not just get attention. I call this trust over traffic. Look, marketing without trust is like laying pavers without a proper base. It might look good for a week. It's not going to last. Most contractors chase leads. They want more calls, more clicks, more visibility. But great businesses build trust at every touch point. Here's the difference. Attention gets you in front of people. Trust gets you chosen by them. People don't make decisions logically first. They make them emotionally and then justify them with logic. So when someone needs landscaping work, they just don't want the first contractor they find. They want the one that they can trust. This changes everything about how you communicate. Instead of shouting, "We do patios," you're saying, "Here's how we solve the drainage problems over the other contractor's miss." Instead of generic before and after photos, you tell the story of what made each project unique. Your content should sound like what a real client thinks or feels, not like a marketing department trying to sell landscaping services. I made this mistake early on. I was so focused on impressing a potential client with technical knowledge that I completely missed what they actually cared about. Whether their kids would have a safe place to play. But honestly, half the time, the best sales conversation is just shutting up and listening. Here's how this approach actually plays out. A contractor shifts from trying to be seen to trying to be trusted, and suddenly their referrals increase. Their close rate jumps, and their average project value goes up. The shift is simple. I'm not just trying to be seen, I'm trying to be trusted before the call happens. When you build trust through your marketing, people call you differently. They're not just shopping, they're asking about when can you start. The second way of working is that you don't need more leads. You need better relationships, and I call this relationships over reach. I'm not saying leads are bad. I'm saying they're not the whole answer. Most contractors think growth comes from volume. More calls, more quotes, more opportunities. But volume doesn't solve inconsistency. Relationships do. Here's what I mean. One solid referral partner can outperform 100 random leads. A pool contractor who sends you 3 projects a year is worth more than any lead service. A real estate agent who mentions your name in client conversations creates more value than any social media post. It's not how many people know about you, it's about how many people know how to refer you. This is a pattern I see across successful contractors, is they stop chasing quantity and start building quality connections. They treat referral partners like business partners, and they make it easy for people to send them work. Think about your best project this year. How did they find you? Probably through someone who knew your work, trusted your process, and felt confident recommending you. I had a guy once tell me, Ryan, your price is solid, but we already trusted somebody else. And that stuck. That's when I realized I was showing up late to the trust game. The contractors who grow consistently have 3 to 5 relationships that feed their business. A builder who needs a landscaper. A designer who values quality installation. A property manager who trusts them with premium projects. These relationships become force multipliers. One good partnership can fill your calendar for months. So let's lock this in. My next best job probably isn't coming from an ad. It's coming from somebody I already know. This isn't about getting chosen. It's about getting chosen by the right clients. The ones who respect your process, your price, and your professionalism. All because you can chase more leads. It doesn't mean that's the path to sustainable growth. The third shift is trust is built in how you make people feel, not just what you say. I call this feelings over features. Clients remember tone more than terminology. They remember how you made them feel during that first conversation, whether you listened to their concerns, whether you respected their vision, and whether you made them feel heard or just sold to. When folks actually feel good working with you, not just saying it, but actually feeling it, they choose you, even if you're not the cheapest. This isn't soft thinking, it's strategic. You can be the best installer in your market and still lose jobs if people don't feel safe saying yes. One client told me that we hired you before we even called. We just needed to make sure you were real. That stuck with me because it shows how powerful it is when people feel connected to your approach. Here's how this approach actually plays out. A homeowner calls about a patio project. Instead of immediately jumping into pricing and materials, the contractor asks about how they envision using the space, what problems they're trying to solve, and what their concerns are about the process. That homeowner hangs up feeling understood, not sold to, not pressured, just heard. Even if that contractor's quote comes in higher, they often get the job because the customer felt confident in the relationship from day one. The shift is simple. I close more jobs when people feel heard than when I try to impress them. This doesn't mean being soft or avoiding business conversations. It means leading with curiosity instead of assumptions, asking questions before giving answers, and understanding their world before explaining yours. When you work this way, you don't just get lucky with one great client. You start building a business that does it on repeat. These aren't one-time tactics. They're approaches that compound over time. So here's what we covered. Trust over traffic, relationships over reach, feelings over features. These approaches work together. And when you build trust through our marketing, develop deeper relationships, and make people feel valued, you create a business that grows through reputation instead of desperation. Which of these do you already use? And which one needs to become your next shift? Drop a comment and let me know. What approach helped you break through a plateau in your business? If these shifts resonate with you, here's what to do next. Send this video to one contractor you think needs to hear this. Sometimes the best growth happens when we help others grow too. And if you want to explore how to turn these approaches into systems that work for your specific business, give me a call at 517-955-2154 or visit MediaAceMarketing.com. Because the contractors who embrace these shifts, they're not just busier, they're building something sustainable. Hit that subscribe button for more insights on building a contracting business that works for you. And I'll see you in the next video.